2016 Healthy Luncheon. Today I'm going to prepare a chicken Alfredo with spaghetti squash and a healthy Caesar salad. To get started, we're going to start marinating our chicken because that takes the longest to cook. To season our chicken, we're going to lightly season it with some cracked pepper, salt, and Italian seasoning. In the pan, I put olive oil to keep the chicken from sticking. It also helps with the healthy flavorness. It's not so fatty.
You only season one side?
No, you actually season both sides. I'm cooking this at about medium heat. It doesn't cook so fast and it doesn't burn it at the same time.
So one of the things that always happens to me when I'm trying to make chicken like this is I don't have a meat thermometer and I always undercook it or overcook it. So do you have any tips for those of us that are cooking challenged?
I've been cooking for quite a while, but what I do is you can always feel almost the texture of the chicken. I usually, since the chicken's hot when I first get it, I usually press down. If it's really squishy, it's not done. But if it's borderline where it's almost tough but it's still kind of squishy, it's fully cooked because you still want the juices from it.
What's in Italian seasoning?
Italian seasoning is a mixture of oregano, parsley, basil, and a little bit of salt. Not very much. As the chicken's cooking, I'm going to start my Alfredo sauce. First, by starting the Alfredo sauce, I want to heat my oil. And it's about 1 ounce of oil, and I have chopped garlic to give it more of the Italian feel.
Now is that fresh chopped garlic or would it be like the minced garlic from the store?
You can do minced, but I prefer fresh because you actually use a lot less.
Okay.
And it's more fresher tasting. And it gives it a little bit more bite at the end, depends how much garlic you like. And you want to toast this until it's lightly brown. But fresh garlic toasts really fast, so you want to be careful and not burn it because it will offset the flavor. See, it's already turning brown. Since some of it's turning brown, we're going to add, since it's low calorie, I did a fat-free milk to it.
How much milk?
This takes about 2 cups of milk, fat-free milk, and then get that a good stir.
So I know a lot of people, if they are lactose intolerant, is there a substitution like chicken broth or anything else they could put
They
in?
actually have lactose-free milk now in the stores and farm fresh. So I'm actually lactose intolerant, so this kind of helps a lot. When they came up with that, you can also use almond milk.
Okay.
And right here is low-fat cream cheese. We're going to melt it down.
How much cream cheese?
Half of a cup. and break it off a little bit.
And about how high of heat are you cooking the Alfredo sauce?
Alfredo, I start off with medium heat. I will later reduce it down to low heat so the sauce will reduce and won't be so much milk content and be more of a thick, creamy sauce. We'll check the chicken. You want it I like to have color on it, more brown. It also gives a crispier flavor and everything.
Smells great.
Thank you. Turn it down a little bit. Next we'll do is our Caesar salad. I picked a chopped romaine. It's always fresh, has all the green, healthy minerals. I like to do a fresh squeeze of lemon and give that tartness for it. And then I made homemade croutons. It's just chopped bread, and you add a tablespoon of olive oil, salt and pepper, lightly toss it. Then you spread it thin on a sheet layer pan. Cook about 15 minutes at 350 degrees, so it's nice and crispy. Every crouton is different because people like it more crispy on other size, so I always do a unique chop, cubed it, all different sizes, so I won't have a big huge chunk of bread.
Is there any type of bread that works better than another type for croutons?
Well, it's actually your preference. I like to use ciabatta bread. Has a nice fluffiness and it breaks down to a nice crunch when it's toasted off. But you can use French toast, regular white sliced bread, and you can use the croissants because it's nice and fluffy.
So like croissants, or would croutons be a great thing to make with like day-old bread if you had some of that?
If you even have day-old bread or bread that you brought fresh from the store, either way it works. Day-old bread would be the best because it gives a faster crunch and texture. Turn that down on low so it can reduce for us. So back to the Caesar salad, you can add a cup of Parmesan to it, and it has salt content, but it's not as fatty as other cheeses, and it's on the healthy side, I believe. And a low-cal dressing, Caesar dressing, what I did for it, I did Greek fat-free yogurt. I also had lemon juice, olive oil, a little bit of garlic, salt and pepper, and Dijon mustard. It's a quick fix. You can pick all the products at the store, and all you do is dump all the ingredients in the blender and blitz it. So it's fast.
Yeah, what about the anchovies?
No anchovies. It's fish-free today. I'm kind of folding the dressing in the salad because once you dress it yourself and serve it, it saves on dressing content, and also you risk of overdressing it. But if you ever dress it ahead of time, you can evenly distribute the product and also touch all the flavors. Now we're going to finish the chicken in the oven. Make sure you have an oven-safe pan. You don't want anything with rubber because it will burn. It's also faster that way.
Okay, so what is the oven set on?
Oven is set on for 350, and once you pan sear it and get it to both sides brown, you can put it in there for another 15 minutes. It should come out completely done. Then check our sauce.
If we don't have an oven-safe pan, are there any alternatives to?
You can transfer your chicken to a regular cookie sheet pan. As long as you oven sprayed it, you can finish it that way too. almost done. And next I'm going to demo how to shred spaghetti squash. So you guys have an idea to do it.
Okay, how do you cook this spaghetti squash? Because I've tried this before and mine turned out really terrible.
Okay. The spaghetti squash, what I did for it, I sliced it, the stem off, and then I turned around and sliced it in half, and I took a spoon, and I just shred all the seeds out of it and cleaned it out nice and well. And then I seasoned it with salt and pepper, and then I lightly dress it with olive oil. And when I spray the pan so it won't stick, I also put it face down.
Okay.
And I cook it in the oven for about 20 minutes at 350 degrees, and you know it's done when you can squeeze it and it forms to your hand in a way, and it's completely done.
Okay.
So this is about ready. We'll take our fork to shred the spaghetti squash. You can either go with the grain or against it. I always start against it to get my nice start and kind of shred and cut up at the same time. And then I'll change directions and actually get all the way down to the skin. And it's really easy to do. And about one large spaghetti squash serves about 4 people.
So how does spaghetti squash do like leftovers? Is it one of those things that you need to eat it right then? Or like could you make this and bring it to work the next day and heat it up and it'd be okay?
Actually, spaghetti squash, if it's stored correctly, like airtight container, and it's cooled down properly, it stores very well for the next day.
Okay. So what is the best way to store it and cool it down and all of that? 'Cause I also tried to do this and it turned into a glob.
Well, what I do for my spaghetti squash, I actually shred it and put it all in a bowl. I toss it with the salt and pepper to season, and I lightly put it in olive oil and toss it. And also the olive oil acts as a penetration. It seals it, preserves it, and it also keeps everything from sticking. Our sauce is ready to finish and everything. Since our sauce is ready to finish, we're going to add Parmesan to it. Gives more of a creamy texture.
How much?
About a half a cup to a cup. It's kind of your preference how much Alfredo, how much Parmesan you want. Gives a nice creamy look. Turn that a little hot on. Next we'll start doing our plating. Some tongs. And Amanda's gonna assist me by getting some tongs, but I choose a square vessel because it's very light and you can see all the colors. Thank you.
Oh no, he would have told me to call on.
I'd call the camera.
Retoss to distribute again. Can't forget the croutons. Alright, it's shredded spaghetti squash ahead of time. Saves some time. And also it stays fresh longer.
So I'm sure you probably don't know this off the top of your head, but if you were to guesstimate, how many calories would you save just by switching out spaghetti squash for pasta?
Well, I really don't know that question, but that's a good one. I had to say you save a lot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All of those.
And there's your spaghetti squash. Chicken Alfredo. And thank you for attending.
Thank you.